Yo! So today's part 4 of getting this resume app all set up and ready to go. Let's just dive in to talk about kind of like what we're going to be working on today. We are going to be doing a few things here. So I've updated the README in the repo that we put up on to be public yesterday, or last stream anyway, to kind of like really handle all the to-dos of what we're trying to do. So this is what we've done so far. And for those of you who aren't aware, what we're doing is we're essentially trying to build a resume. I'll click on the link here to see kind of what it looks like. There's a live link, but a resume that anybody can, change the config file. They can build it themselves. And this is for, whatever you're going to submit for any sort of position. You can, most of them require you to put some sort of PDF or something like that with your resume. I just wanted a really clean looking way to create a resume for those kinds of job openings where you can just create one. It's not like this annoying thing you have to do. You can keep it as a repo for yourself and just continually add to it as the years go on. So really quick overview here is that you basically get kind of a bio section where you can kind of write like a quick intro. You got a work history section. You've got, side projects if you've got them, and education. We're going to add a few more things to this, and we may even kind of add more to the list. But some of the cool things we're going to do, or at least one of them, is I want to be able to add cover letters. And so the thought behind that is essentially being able to have a specific link. Like maybe you're going to say, apply to, I don't know, maybe you're going to apply to, what's a cool place that you can go work at? I don't know, Vercel. You can go to the Vercel link on here and there'd be like a blurb about why you want to work there and what you're excited about and what you think is cool that they do. So these are some of the things we're going to work on. Today, we're going to be hitting up some of this stuff. So first of all, on our last stream, I noticed that we don't have alt tags on our images. I thought that was really important for accessibility. And then getting into adding links. And so at the top here on the top of this resume, having the ability to have like a GitHub link or a LinkedIn link, or maybe it's your own personal website, that kind of thing. These are the kind of things that I think would be really cool. And so we're gonna start just jumping into them. We're gonna do some more print optimizations later, and then get into the individual pages for a specific employer and stuff like that. Again, we're using React and Tailwind CSS for this stuff. So I think it's worth just diving in. Cool. So let's just really quickly start to fix this alt image situation. So I'm just going to search this project for anywhere we're using the next image tag. Just doing a global search here. Today's stream, we're going to be going for, starting at the beginning for about 20 minutes. We have about 17 minutes left. A little bit of a short one, but want to just get what we can do. So this is going to be the logo for this. So I'm just, again, searching. This is the education section component. And I want to add an alt tag to this image for a school logo. And so in this case, I'm going to make this a dynamic string. And I'm going to say whatever the school's name is. So it's institution is the name of this. So school.institution, their logo. Sweet. So if I was to, actually these don't have them, but we will get to that at some point. So we're gonna add that alt tag, and then we're gonna jump into the sidebar panel here. This is for your profile picture. Oh, this one actually has one, so we're good. We'll go to side projects, and we'll go into here and say there is a side project, project.name. And so we'll say project, oops, not there, sorry. We'll say project.names logo. And then work history is the last one we have to do here. And so we'll do this, and we'll say work.company name is what it's called here. And we'll say it's that logo. Cool. So just really quickly, just want to make sure that was done for accessibility reasons, making sure we have alt tags on those. So let's just hit up that README file. We're going to mark that as being done. And I'm going to throw that into the done pile as far as what we've got going on. Cool. That brought up something in my mind, which I think I actually want to do sooner rather than later, which is this. And I'm going to bring this up into our features to add. I want to be able to toggle So right now you'll see that there's logos here. And if we go to, in this stream, I don't think I've shown yet that there's this data object. And I'm just gonna hide the terminal at the bottom there. This data object controls the entire resume. And so we've got some definitions for the data, the objects themselves, but this data object is what's controlling all the data here. So if I was to change this to be George, you'd get, oh, I'm on the live version, which is why this isn't updating. There we go. You get George Wyatt, or if you change this to be Kyle, or if you changed it to be Hassan, you would get that kind of automatically updated. And so this whole data object controls that. And so in these work history arrays, or in the side project arrays, or in the education arrays, there's an optional logo you can add. And so the way this is working right now is if you add a logo, it will show. And if, let's say in this case, like it is, only this one has a logo, these guys don't. So only one of my work histories. So it wants to keep this aligning. And so rather than have this blank, we just have a circle that has the initials of whatever company this is. And that same functionality is built into these side projects, but because they don't have logos, you're not getting that indentation. So for instance, if I was to put in the side project, add a logo in here, you would now get this kind of look and feel as well. I thought at the end of the last stream we did, this was fine. If one section shows them, the other one doesn't, it's cool. But I actually feel to keep consistency, it should either show them or not. So rather than them being based on whether there's a logo, we're gonna make a kind of more global setting that says, hey, show logos or don't show logos. So I'm gonna take that out. You're gonna see that once I take that logo out, this goes away because none of these have logos. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually, to this data object description, I'm gonna add something that just says show logos. And that's a Boolean. Easy peasy. Now we're getting an error on this data because it's not in there, so we're gonna add it. So I'm gonna say show logos, and I'm gonna say true. Cool. So now we're gonna implement this functionality here. So what I wanna do with this show logos is essentially say, hey, if that's on, then you're gonna show this column on all three of these no matter what. And if there is a logo, show the logo. If not, show this circle with the initials. So we're gonna jump into work history real quick. And the way we were doing this before was we were looping through all the work, where is it? Here. We were looping through all of the work history items and saying, hey, if any of those have a logo, then we're gonna show this. Well, we're gonna change this, and we're not gonna use this, are there any logos? We're just gonna say, this is part of the data object. We're gonna say data.show logos. And if that's on, then show them. And we're just, because this is no longer needed, this are there any logos, we're gonna get rid of that. We're gonna jump into the side project and do the same thing. And we're gonna say data.show logos. We're gonna get rid of that. And we'll jump into the education section. And once again, do the same thing, data.show logos. And get rid of that. So now you'll see, because we have show logos set to true, all of these are showing. We're seeing some weirdness with my with the initials here because there's a lot. Maybe we can solve that in a little bit. But essentially it's now going to show because I said always show. But in here I can also now just say, hey, you know what? I don't want them to show. So let's hide them. And it's going to look like this if you want something more clean. So we'll leave it as true for now. This is what it looks like. Kind of gives some consistency through the whole page here. Cool. Awesome. So we're going to take that and we are going to check that off. Cool. So something I haven't been doing along this project is committing some of these things to GitHub. So I'm just gonna do that right now. I'm gonna just add all this in, and my commit message here is gonna be adding logo toggle and alt tags on images. And we will push that up to our repo. Cool. Awesome. So just running into our next one, let's add some links in here. So we're talking about having some links at the top of this page. And so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna revisit our data object here. And so there's gonna have to be some part of this data interface where we describe what this looks like. And because it's probably going to end up being an object, we're going to do a whole new interface here and say, I'm not going to call them social links because they may not all be social links, but I'm just going to call them links. And so yeah, we'll throw a logo on it. We'll throw the name and we'll throw the link. And then in here, we are just going to add this as an optional array on the data object to have links. Cool. So let's just go in. So the data object set up like this. Let's start adding to this. So in my actual data object here, I'm going to say links. Oops, it's not an object, it's an array. And I'm going to create an object in here. And I'm going to say, I'm not going to put a logo for now. I'm going to say GitHub. And the link is going to be GitHub. That was funny. Was it going to redo that? GitHub Copilot. There it is. Kyle Wyatt. Wonder if there's a real Kyle Wyatt out there. Hey, Kyle Wyatt. I can't even say that name. Kyle Wyatt. Anyway, cool. So we've added a link. We've got one in there. Let's just start there. So we've got this. And my thought was it could either go here or it could go at the top. Now I'm a little conflicted. I liked the idea of having them up here. Let's start with that because I feel like this could use some kind of like some stuff up in this top left right here. So we're going to close all of this and we're going to jump back into our file structure. And so essentially what we've got here is we're using Next.js. And so we've got this index page and this is where all of this stuff is happening. And you know what, I haven't been doing this, but I'm going to do it for this stream where I'm going to change everything so that it wraps. Cool. And so the way we've broken it out, we have a sidebar and we've got the details panel. And so this is going to show up on this details panel. So we're going to jump into the details panel and I'll close out that sidebar. Cool. So in this details panel, we start with this section here, which is this here. So we're actually going to be starting to add a new section up above it. And this is going to be the whole links thing. So for right now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to map over data.links. And I'm going to, first of all, make sure that there is links. So we're just going to say, hey, if there's links, then we're going to map over these. And actually, I'm realizing this check on whether or not there is links should actually happen around this wrapper. Cool. I'm not going to check the length. I'm just going to say, hey, if there's links and data.links.length. Cool. We'll probably abstract this out into some kind of component at some point because we're getting right into the nitty gritty of a lot of details here. But I'm going to set the key here to be link dot. I don't like the fact that we call these links and then the data component where you actually see the href was called link as well. Creates some weirdness. So I'm just going to go back into this data object. And in the definition of a link, I'm going to change this to the href, which means that down here, I'm going to change this to href as well. Cool. Jumping into here, the key that we're going to use for this component is for this loop is going to be the href because it should be unique. And then sure, we'll do that. It's not link.text, it's link.name, I believe. And there it is, GitHub. And when you click it, boom, it goes to the GitHub. So that's there. I don't know if it looks good, but it's there. So let's start with that. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to say target equals blank because I don't want it to take over the resume. And then I'm also going to, there's like rel equals, and then what are the options here? There's some sort of thing here you have to do with rel no refer or something to prevent. So people are recommending not to use target blank, but unless you put in rel no opener. And this is going to tell us more about the vulnerability. But we can just maybe look at this quick description here. Essentially, adding rel no opener, no refer to links protects your sites against having the site you've linked to potentially hijacking the browser via Rogue.js. That sounds bad. Update as of 2021, all current versions of major browsers now automatically use the behavior of rel no opener for target blank. So it nullifies the issue. Now, just in case someone for some reason is using an older browser, we are going to throw that in there. Cool. Awesome, let's close that up. And so there's a couple things with this. First of all, this is great if someone's viewing this on the web, but if they're viewing it in print, then it's not going to show anything. So what I'm actually going to do here is, so we've got this link with the name in it. That's all well and good. But I'm also going to add a div in here with the class name of print block, otherwise hidden. So the idea here is I want this to show if we're printing, but I don't want it to show if we aren't. So really simply, I'm just gonna say link.href, and we're gonna style this a little bit different, a little bit more in a second here, but so it's gonna look like that, which you're again not gonna see anything. So if I open the developer tools, I was looking this up the other day because we were doing a lot of like work with print mode and all that kind of stuff, and somewhere in here, I want to say it's in elements. Shoot, somewhere in here there's a way to say, hey, I want you to mimic that we're in print mode right now. Chrome, Dev Tools, print view. There's some sort of ability to do this. Developer tools, customize and control DevTools hamburger, emulate print media checkbox. Oh my gosh, that seems intense. Okay, let's see if we can do that. So we're gonna go here. I think it said more tools, media. No, lies. What was it? Rendering settings. And was it even more tools? Yeah, it was. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna go more tools. And it said rendering settings. And emulate CSS media type print. Ugh, that sucks that we have to show all of that. Can't even bring that up there. Okay, so let's just do that for now. So we're emulating the print mode. And so in print mode, you would see this URL. A couple things here. We want this to show up on the same line as GitHub. And I'm gonna say that I want it to be a little more subtle. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna add a class onto this guy. And we only have about a minute left. So maybe we can get this done, but we're gonna flex that. I'm gonna say margin left is 2, maybe 1. And we are going to make this a little bit smaller. We are going to align the center like that. And then I'll probably make this like text gray 500. So if you were to print it, this is what it would look like. So you'd actually get that link to that print. And I'm probably gonna put some spacing in here just so you can see the link a little bit better. Cool. A couple more things I want to do with this. Number one is I want to be able to have a little bit of a GitHub logo there. Number two is I want to see what it looks like with multiple links in here. So again, we're at the end of this stream, but we're getting started on this and I'm liking it. I think maybe the last thing we should do here is, and there's my timer going off. Cool, thank you. Oh, it's restarting. Let's not do that. Cool. So the last thing I'm going to just want to do here is just see what happens when multiple links are put in, because I'm going to commit this code at the end of this stream, and I just want to make sure multiple links doesn't look terrible. So I'll say LinkedIn, and I'll say linkedin.com/Kyle White as well. So that's going to render like this, which is not at all what we want. So similar to what we did here, where they're looping over each individual link. In this wrapper, we're going to say class name equals flex, which is going to be the first step in getting them on the same line. And we have index here. So I'm going to say, we'll make this dynamic. I basically don't want them to be so close together. So I'm going to say, hey, you know what? If the index is greater than 0, then I want you to have a little bit of a left padding on that. Cool. This whole thing, in my mind, should be justify end so that it's over on that side, which is great. And then we had originally made it so that this lined up with this vertically. And there's some better ways we can do that, but we'll just have to change something slightly to make that happen again. I don't think that's a size 28, maybe. That's close. We'll fix it maybe on the next stream, but at least we now have the ability to put links up here. Cool. And again, if we turned off the emulation of print mode, it's just going to look like this: GitHub and LinkedIn, and people can click on them. Cool. That is where we are going to end for the day. We'll get back into this soon. I'm happy and excited to get this all wrapped up. So it's good hanging out, and I'll see you real soon.